This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said,
If not, enjoy the show.
Previously on The Black Man Misunderstood. And when you said that, I was just like, hold on, I done missed out. I done missed Keish.
Yeah, you know, like because people. So a lot of things I said, right?
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome back to the Black Man Misunderstood podcast. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and I'm rocking with my brother as always.
Neighborhood therapist, you already know.
And this is episode 5 of season 3. This isn't normal. Yeah, I see what it says in the parentheses.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah, it's one of these episodes, bruh. No, we constantly bring out these type of topics every so often, and take it to a more serious tone. Not saying that everything we don't talk about is there's seriousness to it, but I think this is something that needs to be spoken on because I don't think it's spoken enough on it. Period.
Right.
Might as well start from the top. Molestation, rape, sexual assault. Is it the same?
So me ignorantly, I used to believe that it was. But since being in the field and learning new phrases and topics that go with it, is definitely different. And especially being around law enforcement when I was around that, they classify that different, and then different states classify it differently as well. So in the state of Texas, they don't use the word rape. Everything is sexual assault.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's either sexual assault of a minor, like everything is always like sexual. It's always a sexual assault. Even molestation it will fall under sexual assault. Like it's like an all or nothing.
So, all right. So hear me out on this. So I can see where they can go into one another, their specific lines, but for them to just classify everything and put it in one box, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Because you'll meet people, right? And not to say that we giving them any kudos, but you'll meet people that they was 17 and they was with a 15-year-old. Right? Just a 2-year gap, right? But because of what it was, it'll be sexual assault of a minor. If the family press charges, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And it is crazy that these rules vary from state to state.
State to state, yeah.
Because now I'll take it back to like one of the things they told us in college when I was part of the football team. The whole thing about consent and how that law is different in each state. Like in Rhode Island, if a woman is intoxicated, if she's intoxicated, she can't give consent.
She can't give consent. Yeah,
and that's different for each state. Because some states don't even go by that, and it's just mind-boggling. Because then even the age limit thing is different too. Like some states, it'd be like, 16, they can make their own decisions, call it the day. Other states is 18, other states is 17. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
like the thinking about it is like nuts. Like, why is it that way in this state and not in this state?
Well, I mean, you know why.
Oh,
historically, it's still old, slave trade type rules in place, and we just never got back to them. Like, so I know this is way off topic, but in Texas, Do you know that it's illegal to have oral sex?
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, it's one of those rules that's still in play, but nobody enforces it. Like, what the police gonna do? Not gonna do it and be like, hey, cut that out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enforceable. So it's a lot of laws are still in place like that. That we just, it's kind of one of them things where we like, whatever. But to me, that's too much power, bro. Because if you get an idiot that's a police officer, that, you know what I mean, that it's an idiot that decided to be a police officer. I'm not calling police officers idiots. I'm just saying an idiot that decided to become a police officer and he knows the law like that. You know what I mean? The officer can give you a ticket for, you know, your tire PSI being too low. Real talk, by the way, Mike. I'm not making that up. This is facts.
Look, bro, there's a lot of stuff people don't realize that the cops give them a ticket for. And they just be slapping people on the wrist, but like, go on your merry way.
That's what I'm saying. So, but the biggest difference to me, right, between those three things, molestation is forcefully touching someone and not penetrating. Again, these are my definitions. Rape is rape. That means you went all the way, they didn't ask for it, and you know, you violated. Sexual assault to me is when you it can encompass, yes, you penetrating, but it can also encompass you rubbing up on the person with clothes on, things like that. So that's why I said you just gotta
see, and that's and literally I was literally thinking that as you were saying it. I was like, the first two go into the last one. And they're different, of course, classifications in these states. But I love that you said molestation is rubbing up on, not penetration, while rape is penetration. So why do people get it confused?
Again, half of that is the way that the states have it in place. And then the other half is for real upbringing in social media.
Okay.
Because I've met people that be like, oh, I was molested. And because I'm a therapist, I have to have them go just a tad bit deeper, not too much, just, you know, a tad bit deeper. And then they'll finish the story. And I'm like, yo, nah, you were raped. That's not molestation. Like, molestation is if you're a female, a man fondling you and then, you know, leaving it back, you know, don't do anything. But they were describing like full blown, like being pinned down. And I'm like, yo, that's.
So, all right. So hear me out. So basically what you're telling me, all right, let's just say I'm just a regular person, that molestation starts with touching. That's the first step.
This is my personal
view. You know, your personal view. No. Yeah. Molestation starts with touching. And when they begin to penetrate, that's where rape comes in.
Yes.
Forcefully. And then all it is considered sexual assault. Period. Gotcha. I could rock with that. Okay. Understanding wise. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Who taught you about the topic?
So now I was thinking about this question and I'm trying to like think about it. And it's like in health class, we talk about rape for sure.
Yeah, I did.
Right. I'm almost positive in health class. It's not taught, but it's mentioned. Okay. I feel like it's mentioned, right? If I remember correctly. No, that's over a decade ago. But I can honestly say that yes, this topic has been touched. It was definitely touched in college for me because my college campus, what they did is during the first week of school, what they did is they brought in the freshmen first for a week before they brought in the upperclassmen. Like if there was upperclassmen on the campus, that was because they were athletes and the season started, of course. So what they did is they do a presentation to show you rape, sexual assault, all that good stuff, and how it's perceived by different people. And what's right and wrong in that state where my school resided. So I was taught on the topic, I actually was part of the presentation later on in my following years, to show it to the freshmen, to basically give them pointers, because it happens, and most people don't realize how often it happens.
Yep.
So yeah, I was taught about the topic, but I can honestly say when it comes to molestation, though, I don't think that's really something people try to talk or teach on. Like, we see it more so in movies where the molestation leads to rape,
Mm-hmm.
like how we were describing it at this point, and in documentaries and like all these different type of shows, and like the Dr. Phil show and stuff like that. Like, we see it and hear it, but that's where we learning it from. We're not really. I don't think there's really anyone that's like taught this unless they're going into the field and they specifically are taught about this. And even within families, you may say like, all right, you can't let a stranger touch you here and there, don't talk to strangers, the conversation. But we don't really go into that conversation about, they don't go into in depth about, oh, if you're touched this way, that's molestation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an assault on you. They just tell you, don't allow anyone to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically, I guess, where I learned these topics.
So similar for me, right? The actual proper wording, I learned it in college and then after college, but we was experiencing that in the trenches, bro. So for real, from me to you, I don't even know if you know, but I've been molested a couple of times. I didn't find out until I was an adult, though, because at the time I thought that it was normal.
You know what? And now that you saying that, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, he might be on to something. And we're not even, because we're not thinking about it in that instance, in that moment. I get exactly what you're saying. Like, someone, let me see. Miss So-and-so. Oh, how you doing, young man? Let me on you. And you not even thinking about it.
I mean you can't classify low high, right? With molestation. But like what I'm talking about, like, is actual like touching, bro. Like I'm talking about,
follow. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm like talking about like inside the underwear, all of that, like the whole.
Oh
yeah. Like I didn't understand that until I got to college, because in my head I was just like, well, that's every little boy's dream. That's a dub. But it's like, bro, you was molested, fam. It don't matter if you act like, if you wanted that, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I don't feel like I was a sexual kid. Like, I wasn't, ain't know nothing about that. But because this person is older, I guess they're attractive. Again, I'm a kid. I'm not looking at girls like that, right? And for that to happen, and then you start to have flashbacks and understand that, it's like, oh, bro, you was molested, fam. So there was that, right? And then there was also the fact that I was growing up with a lot of females that would tell me things like, oh, my uncle did this. My father did this. My stepdad did this. And I'm just like, it's weird. It's weird because it's like, but that's reserved for like a dude like me. But I'm your friend, so I don't, you know what I mean? Like, so that's reserved for guys that you like. You like your stepdad? I would ask weird questions like you like your stepdad? Like, is that a thing? Because you're learning. You don't really, you know what I mean? You're a kid, you're growing up, you're learning. And you can just see their faces. But Mike, from me to you, molestation is not a word that goes around in the hood. It's either rape or nothing.
Yep.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
So if you come home, right, and you say, oh, such and such touched me, we ain't gonna say all, but most parents would be like, "Oh, you over exaggerating," or this, and this. You know, just our environment, our particular environment. We see, right? But if you say such and such,
and date, and you also got to add date and time, because I think we're more aware of it now than
yeah. I'm talking about back when we was kids. Okay, this the 90s.
Yep.
Before and then if you say such and such pulled something out or such and such pulled down their pants, then it's what were you? Did you know what happened? But for real, bro, I don't think molestation was because, bro, I didn't learn molestation until I got to like college. Like you said, bro, like what is that word?
The crazy thing is, I think we heard that word, but we really didn't know what the word meant. We just knew it had to do with an adult and a kid.
It didn't resonate.
Click. It didn't resonate.
It don't resonate.
Yeah.
It's rape or nothing. So if you in a situation and you say, "Hey, I was raped," everybody's on alert. Like, "Yo, what happened?" But if you say, if you walked up to a group of kids in the 90s and be like, "Yo, I was molested," they're gonna be like,
"What you talking about?"
They're just gonna look at you, fam. Like, what does that mean? Like, what you mean you was molested? Like, you sure you didn't ask for that? And it's so messed up.
True. It's true.
Yo, it's Mike, true. I want to see if you remember this. There was a light bright shorty in 6th grade with us. Okay. She was the sister of somebody. Okay. Do you remember her coming to class crying? You may not, but what she was crying about, she was saying that such and such had pulled her into the gym and touched her. The word she used was touched. I remember it because it caused me like pain, like hearing it. And she was like, he touched me and I told him no. And this, right? So I'm like,
was this a teacher or was this another student?
This is the student. The student was our peer. They came into the class.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's the whole class in there, and we're looking at her, and everybody's just like, "But we know what you into." You know what I mean? Everybody was just looking at her with that face, like, "Well, we know what you into." Like, so you probably was like giving them blue balls or something like that. I'm like, bro, we 6th grade. What y'all know about blue balls? Because we was advanced, but still, like, we was fresh. But, you know what I mean? You just fresh, but it's like, yo, this young lady is crying her heart out, basically saying like this person, and still to this day, we don't know if she was raped or molested, bro. We don't know.
Facts.
But yeah, we looked at her and was like, you wear such and such. Because she was developed. She was way more developed than the other girls that was in 6th grade. And she would wear the tight stuff and it was revealing and stuff like that. And but that make it right?
No, it don't. It don't.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. For me, at that moment, my mind automatically went to rape. But maybe she was talking about molestation. But I just computing the difference back then, come on, bro.
We were still learning.
Yeah.
We were still learning.
Yeah. But the streets definitely, for me, taught me. Because like I said, man, I was around a lot of women that would just put me on game and the things that they gone through. And I just was like, yo, this is BS. And if I'm being honest, I think that's part of why I am the way I am now with women. Because I'm very like defense. Like if a man is like, his base is just a little bit too much, I'm like, bro, calm down. Like that's the female. Like it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like it's like a defender mode. Like, because I've seen too much. I heard too much.
Yeah.
No, but we got to address something.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we was in high school, right?
Yeah.
All the shorties that we wanted and that everybody wanted, right?
I already know where you're going with this.
Come on now. We got to talk about the young ladies that was after school getting picked up by the 20-year-olds. They weren't even college students, dog. They was like somebody's uncle, fam. Like, dude was like 25, 30. You know, we got 16-year-olds getting picked up by 32-year-olds. And us as teenagers, I'm trying to think of my mindset back then. I was just like, oh, she like older dudes. Yeah, that was the mindset. Oh, she like older dudes. We're not even looking at it as, yo, this dude is a pervert. You wildin', bro.
Facts. You preaching to the choir, bro. I hear you. Because I used to always question, like, yo, why is these older dudes on the girls our age, though? For real. Like, I ain't giving, ain't no fishes in the sea for us.
No fishes in the sea. And bro, I don't know how it was for your high school, but was they not, they wasn't lining up in cars? You don't remember that? That you didn't have that?
Right. Remember, I did go to tech, so
Bro,
everyone had
it
to
was
get on the
happening in
bus.
tech too.
But no, it was. But the crazy thing is, you even saw it when you got off the bus.
Bro,
Yo,
there's so much trauma in the black community, bro.
it's crazy.
It's madness, bro. It's madness. Yeah. Okay. We gotta check us too, though, bro. Because it's a lot of men out here, right? In our age bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Our age bracket that we went to school with 18-year-olds.
Yeah, nah.
With 17-year-olds.
Yeah, man. Nah.
I'm like,
yo, it's crazy. Like even when I think about my dating life, right? I never really try to go past that 5-6 year mark because stuff gets really murky after that, yo. I swear it's like I'm not saying that people say, oh, age ain't nothing, but yeah, I get it. But earlier on in life, that age ain't nothing but a number saying. I don't know if that's true because the people on the younger end still have a lot to learn.
Yeah, they gotta grow.
And may not and they may not understand fully what they need, what their commitment is in providing stuff like that. So
I'm gonna jump on what you're saying. I'm gonna say I agree to an extent. I think age ain't nothing but a number. I do agree with that because I've seen people that are 40 with a 25-year-old and it works. Okay, I just think it's, to me, this is all personal opinion. It's not fair game until the last individual is at least 20. Let them get out of the 18, 19 years. When they turn 20, it's fair game because yes, you got more to learn, but at least by 20, you can go, you know what? I'm a little bit more seasoned. I'm in the world. I'm making this decision with a clear mind. 16, 17, 18, 19, fresh out of high school, you can think you grown. I don't care if you lived on your own, you got your own job. Like, you still got some living to do. You got to grow. It's manipulative ass people out here in the world that'll take advantage of you because you're not as seasoned as you think you are. But once you hit 20, even if you want to go 21, Mike, it's fair game, bro. It's fair game.
I was gonna say 21 plus, but even still, like at 21, like depending if they go to college or not and whatnot, and they stay in for 4 years. There's some people because we don't talk about this either. People go in there and stay in for 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get their degrees. But like even still, like I'd rather someone get a job, their like first full-time job first, something like that outside of school that they can actually provide for themselves and start to understand the work first. Because even at work, you could learn a lot from older peers and not even know it. Just having conversations sometimes.
Yeah, but the flesh one with the flesh one. That's why I'm saying at least a good giveaway point is 2021. It's like, all right, cool. Look, you've been around a little bit. You've been out of high school for like 3 years, 2 years, depending on if you got left back twice. No judgment. No judgment. You know what I mean? Like, so it gives you a little time to get seasoned, but like age is nothing but a number, man. Look back in the even biblical, bro. You had people like 30-year gaps with each other and stuff like that. So,
bruh, Bridgerton and they even show it there. Like girls get, I forget what the age is that the girls are becoming the diamonds of the season and whatnot. And it's during like King Henry's time. England when England was on top of the world, like so they show like
when,
like, huh?
You said when?
No, what you mean?
You said when England was on top of the world?
Yeah.
They're still on top of the world. That's not here nor there. Keep going.
Go ahead, what you did there. I see what you did there.
Go ahead.
I see what you did there. But you know what I meant. But it's like, yeah, they like all the moms and that they're parading their daughters out to be married off to someone, and dudes are coming out. Like, I understand if it was eligible bachelors, dudes are coming at the right age. Nah, son, it's like as soon as you, I forget. I think it's like 15 or 16 or some joint like that. These dudes are
kind of like quinceañeras, basically.
yeah,
Like, they become a woman.
Basically, all of them out of woodwork, anywhere from 15 to all the way up. Dudes coming to get the girl. I'm like, yo, this is wild. Like 60-year-old man, like, all right, 15, 16, 17-year-old woman. Yeah, I got you. Come on. Yeah, I'll take care. I'll pay you a dowry and everything. Yo, what? Like, what is this? Like, it's nuts. Like, when you actually think about it, sometimes like this is what we were taught how to do things at first, but for the longest, it's crazy.
Cultural.
Yeah,
cultural, and that's why I'm careful to say, like, I can't say it's right or wrong and things like that. I can only give you my viewpoint. If I have a daughter, it's not flying. Like, I don't care what she talking about. We're not doing that. You need to be out and about in the world for a little bit, and then you can make whatever decision you're gonna make with that type of thing. But like, you bringing home a man my age and you 16, fam, he getting slumped in there. Like, we're not doing no talking. Like, hey, what's up, bro? Like,
the brotherhood rolling up.
It's gonna be too late.
Nah, no, it's not. What was gonna happen is we gonna already be there, just like 50 Cent in that movie.
I'm not for it. I no disrespect to anybody else that's doing their thing. That's for you. That's your thing. But
yeah,
I feel like 2021. You gotta see the world a little bit. You gotta get a little bit of seasoning. That's just me. It's just me.
Nah, I hear you.
But I wanna address pervy uncle.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a lot of families got him right, but we highlight it in the Black community for some reason. But since we're gonna highlight it, let's go all the way. Why is he still invited to the cookout? Why is he still sitting there with the beer in his hand, licking his lips at his niece and his little cousins? Somebody gotta tell me something.
So I think this is what it is. I think this is the mindset with the pervy uncle. Right? So they went, oh, he's harmless. Right? They give you he's harmless. And let's be frank. I'm not gonna say there are some that like they just say it just to be that pervy uncle, because we've seen that role in the Black community for so long. It's portrayed in movies a lot, aka Uncle Joe Medea. Like it's portrayed. So like they tend to be funny, but we do have those uncles that act on it and they really get too close. Because like I say like this, I've seen the pervy uncle, but the pervy uncle is more like he's chilling. Oh, throw a joke. He ain't trying to touch nobody. He ain't pulling nobody to the side. He's just drinking and throwing jokes, right? But then you got those other ones who do the same thing, but they grab on you. They hug you a certain way that you don't like, and they pull you to the side. They try and they try to corner you. Not saying I've seen it, but that's just how I imagine things are portrayed.
So the first uncle that you described, you said he's harmless. So you don't feel those jokes are harmless? I mean, are harmful?
No. Look, jokes can be harmful. I'm not saying no. I'm saying I know jokes can be harmful, but I'm saying in that view of things, people are gonna look at like, oh, he's harmless, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Again, I go back to what I said earlier, because social media and TV and movies has desensitized us. Like you said, Uncle Joe, right? I don't even really watch Medea and Tyler Perry stuff like that because no disrespect to Tyler, I just feel like he got good messages, but you drag our asses through the mud just to get to the good message. I'm good on that shit. That's just me. But no disrespect, like I said, he been through a lot. No disrespect to him. But when the little bit that I do catch about Uncle Joe, it's like he has jokes, right? The jokes be hitting, they funny. But I oftentimes when he hits those jokes, I feel guilty on the inside because it's like, yo, bro, you normalizing pervert behavior.
True.
And it's if it was just random women and he catcalling and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be no hypocrite. I'm like, all right, haha, that was funny, like whatever. And there's women on the other side that's like, that's not funny. I hear you loud and clear. I'm just telling you from this man's perspective, certain things that he say on that end of it is funny because that's the way of the world. But when you're depicting his niece, his little cousin and shit like that, and he said, "Oh, girl, you did it," I'm like, bro, this weird now. This again, this is just me though.
And the crazy thing is, they point it out in the show too. They be like, Uncle Joe, I'm your great niece.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like, and he be like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just like, right. Heard you. Okay.
Crazy, bro.
So
crazy.
You know, it's something I do. I gotta address with you, okay? Because this is a personal thing. This is how I figured out I was molested. Okay. Even though I'm underage, and I kind of like what's happening, is it still child abuse, Mike?
In my opinion, yes.
Why?
Because it goes back to what I was saying with the states. Each state have their own laws and rules, so they put an age limit on it, right? But
forget the legality of it. I'm asking you. Do you feel like it's child abuse? So let me give you a prime example. If I'm in class, I'm attracted to our teacher, and the teacher actually gives me play at the class. Is it child abuse?
Has to be because it's it messes with the mindset of a kid, right? It's you making it seem that is okay to him. So let's flip it reverse a couple of years. Let's flip it 15 years later. He's now the teacher. There's a girl in the class that likes him. Now he dogging her down after school.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. 1 and 2, because he's a man, it's looked at worse.
We gotta address that too, bro.
Yep, exactly. The double standard. Because if it's a woman, more times than not, like people gonna be outraged, but there's gonna be a lot of people going. If it's not caught, they're gonna let that slide and move on.
I think it's worse now though.
It's worse now.
Because if it's a woman, this is what I see all the time. If it's a woman that got caught, people in the comment section, they're like, "Oh, she bad. I wish that was my teacher." Right? It's always that, and then there's always, "Bro, you gotta be gay. How you gonna tell on her?" And they always go to one extreme. It's like, yo, fam, like, relax. This is an older woman who was having sex with somebody that was 12, 13 years old. It's a fantasy in your head because the world sexualized that for you. But it's like, yo, it's still assault. It's sexual assault of a minor. You're a kid.
It goes back to what I said. It's the mindset. It changes that person's mindset. So yeah, it's abuse. Because abuse is not just physical. People always try to label it just as physical, but it's mental and emotional also.
Talk to me, man. What else you got?
Bruh. We kind of mentioned it already, but generational trauma. We don't speak on it enough. Because it's like people forget this part. I got hurt. Now I'm going to hurt others. Like we said, it's a cycle.
Unintentionally at that too. A lot of them do it unintentionally.
Yeah. Like generational consequence. You see your father do it, try to separate yourself, but then you're caught up in the situation and you end up start doing it yourself. Starts the cycle all over. Then you have a kid. Your kid hear the same thing about you or see it. Cycle continues. And generational trauma. But then it goes into the other part. Why do we brush it underneath the rug, though?
I want to say it's changing. Okay. As Generation Z by themselves are changing things. Period. Okay. Facts. They're way more active. They're way more conscious with mental health and just, generational consequences. But I want to say it's just something that was prevalent in the Black community. It's just like a what happens here stays here. It's family business. Don't go outside with it. And that
Exactly.
was to avoid CPS. That was to avoid the nosy neighbor next door. You know what I mean? Like it was really just about that. But I'm gonna go a little deeper. It was also to avoid mom or dad hearing their siblings, raw, like, why you got this person around my niece or nephew? Like that's the other part we don't talk about. Like parents don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear how to raise their child. And a lot of times they don't believe their child. So what you do?
Facts.
You know what I mean? What do? You sweep it under the rug. They got an overactive imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing overactive about somebody touching me.
Facts. But it's funny. It's just like it's kind of like the Me Too movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It took more than one person for it to happen to, for someone to take it serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear one cousin's molesting another cousin, but then it's not until you hear the second cousin that you actually start to think and be like, yo, is this a pattern or is this a one-off thing? Like, what's going on here? So, yeah, we got to do better. We can't just keep sweeping it on the rug to save our family image.
Get the family image, man. Listen, do your people care about your other people? If the answer is yes, you ain't gonna do that. And if you got something brewing inside of you where you know that it's morally wrong, go get therapy. That's what that's there for. They're not there to judge. The therapist is not there to judge. I'm gonna throw this warning out there though. Again, I don't know if I said it in a past session when we was talking about mental health, but when you're seeking a therapist, you need to ask them their biases. Anytime I have client sessions, I tell them from the door, there's two people I will not see. That's people that rape people and think it's okay. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not built for it. And then the other one is men that beat on women and don't know how to stop or think it's okay. We can't have a conversation because I know me. I'm not gonna be on bike. Can't. There's no way. I come from that. It's not. We're not gonna have a pleasant conversation. Don't get me wrong. There are men that I speak to that have put their hands on their ladies, but it's a conscious. Hey, brother, I'm stopping. That's not who I am. This isn't it. All right, cool. We'll have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? But if you one of them guys that's super super alpha male, she need to do what I say or not. She getting choked, bro. We not. I'm gonna refer you out, fam, because I know the level I take it to, bro. I'm a therapist second. And people get that confused a lot. They like to, well, I'm a therapist first, and my job and the ethics. Yo, screw that. This license, y'all can have that, bro. I'm gonna punch you dead in your mouth, bro. Like I'm from a different cloth. I don't move like that. I'm about principles. I'm standing on mine, bro. I'll die about something. Like the license is secondary. So I want the listeners to understand we are still active. The real men are still out there. We're not playing these type of games. Like we're not going for it. Abuse is abuse. You understand? Sexual abuse, physical abuse, like it's not tolerated. We're not going for it. You can literally walk away. Unless you're defending yourself, then I'm got nothing to do with that. But that's my take on the whole thing. I just feel like and like I tell people, a lot of that is cultural. You can't really judge people and I might get flack for this. Listen, there are we call them perverts, but there's people that like young people for their youthfulness, for the power that they have over them. Again, I can't come out my mouth and be like, you're wrong, you're evil, you're a terrible person. Because many fucking moons ago, that was legal. You know what I mean? That was legal. They wasn't talking about that was a sin or nothing. They said that was legal, bro. So I can't, there's no way I can say that you're an evil individual. What I will respond with is, hey, if that's your culture, cool, no problem. on this side. You know how they got the mats and they say, you know, as for me in this house, we gonna pray. You know what I mean? So as for me in this house, don't get your ass whooped. That's it. That's it. That because we're not doing that on this side. That's it. That's all.
Fact.
What's your thoughts? Talk to me.
I think we just gotta be real and honest with ourselves sometimes, and expose these ideals. Because I feel like we try to sweep these underneath the rug a lot and not even try to bring it up. And it pits family members against each other in different instances. So I'm like, we gotta be honest. You gotta think about it. What's the word I'm gonna the integrity, if it's ethical. Like, we gotta think about it this way. It's you can't, because like let's say it's not a family member. Let's say it's a family friend. Y'all ready to tear the family friend down as soon as y'all find out. Should be the same type of energy if it's a family member. No matter how much blood y'all share.
It's history involved with that too, though, bro.
Yeah, I know, but
I promise you, I strive to look at it from a whole viewpoint, because and with my thought process, I go where people are afraid to go, which is, I've been around this person since I was a child, and now my child is telling me this person that I love, that I've had memories with, shared with, touched them. I'm in a confused state. You can do all the rah-rah. You see how I'm rah-rahing right now, right? You can do all the rah-rah you want. But if somebody you love that you've been with from the mud, you find out that they touched your child, there's only one or two ways this is gonna go down. You're gonna really harm this person, or you're gonna be in a state of confusion. Because it's gonna be like, how could you? No, you wouldn't do that. But did you? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be going back and forth. It's
so no, I hear you. You won't know unless you're in it. But I can honestly tell you, I'll go attack first because I'm thinking about my kid.
What if your child is lying?
That's also true.
That's what I'm saying. It's a full perspective view. So I understand why parents do what they do on one end of the spectrum. I also understand why they do what they do on the other end of the spectrum. It's just, this is what I tell people. You got to decide right now before you have the kids, who you're going to be as a parent.
Yeah.
And then you got to stand on that. And then you can adapt as you go. But you got to know from the door. You got to prepare yourself, because things happen. And when it happens, you cannot get caught with the, which way is left, right? Like, because that's how trauma develops. And now the child got trauma, you got trauma. It's sticky situation, bro. We, as a community, bro, we are going through. That's why therapy is so important, bro. People don't understand. Like, we be having all of this back here. And because it's a normal day-to-day thing for us, we just be moving, bro. We just be moving forward.
Like we said, folks, in the beginning, this isn't normal, but we normalize it.
Yeah, it's super normal, bro. It's so normal to a point that it's sickening, bro. Because I'm not gonna use us. I'm just saying, hypothetically, for the listeners that's listening, right, and the viewers that's watching, you can literally go to the females in your family, and if they're honest with you, about 8 out of 10 of them will tell you, yeah, I've been molested.
And that's crazy to me.
It's fucking sickening, bro. It's sickening. And then the crazier part about that, right, is you can do the same thing with the males. Nobody talks about that either. Both of those need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And then you'll ask them, well, how old were you? 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 15. Hey, yo, what? Where were people at? Oh, well, it was my cousin. It was my peer. It was the friend from down the street. Like, yo, it's just like, yo.
It's mind-boggling.
So what do? You keep your child locked up in the house? Nah, it ain't no conundrum. I told you I figured it out. I told you last season I figured it out. I told you what's gonna happen. Teach your kids how to defend themselves early and only defend themselves when necessary, so they understand, hey, stranger danger, no touching, activate. You have my permission. Well, what if it's my cousin? What if it's my sister, my brother? Activate.
Protect yourself.
I'm gonna teach my kids, even me, if I'm looking at you a certain way, Daddy, that's uncomfortable. My bad. I think we screw up there too. Because, well, I'm the parent. I would never harm my child. You don't know what you'll do if you're intoxicated or you high out your mind on whatever you smoking, or you know what I mean? Like, teach your kids to defend themselves from any and everybody. Lil Wayne say, "Fear God, not them." I switched that up. Trust God, not them.
You gotta get that on a t-shirt.
Hey man, you know, I'll let you have it. What's up, man?
Bruh, this is just one of those episodes. Not too much more you can say. You gotta let it rock.
Yeah. I just, my final piece to everybody that's listening, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it don't matter. Like, protect your people. Protect your people at all costs. And everybody in the world ain't out to hurt you, but everybody in the world also ain't got good intentions either. Stop being so willy-nilly. Stop being so pacifist when it comes to, your health and your sexual being. Like, and if you are one of the people that want to express yourself sexually, do that with people that want to express themselves sexually, that have been in the world enough seasonally to make a sound judgment. Don't prey on somebody younger than you because it's a power push and you wasn't loved the way you wanted to be loved when you was younger. I'm trying not to go too hard into my therapy bag, so I'm gonna keep it neighborhood therapist right here. I'm gonna keep it right there. But y'all just please, just chill. Okay. Find a like-minded community so y'all can do them things that y'all like to do. Just between y'all though. Okay. Because there still exists people like me that don't call the police. We don't do the back and forth. We don't do this on our side culturally. You're gonna have a problem. Stay safe.
And with that, folks, we see y'all next week.
Early.